Hey guys, it's Miles here from www.immortalsupplements.com. I'm here with the legend Danny Mitchell, famous UFC fighter, general badass and all-round nice guy. I've got to be honest. I've got to say that because it might tear my head off if I don't. So,
cheers, mate.
Obviously, I'm going to ask Danny a few questions because a lot of people want to know the life of a UFC fighter and somebody who's obviously scaled the heights in MMA. So, Danny, I mean, you know, you've obviously gone to the dizzy heights. You've fought in Vegas. You've done everything there is to do almost in your sport. You know, what for somebody starting out, you know, who's wanting to learn MMA, what advice, you know, what's the best advice you can give them?
The best advice really is just find a good club.
Yeah.
There's so many MMA clubs out there now, and there's a lot of cowboys teaching stuff where you can get injured. So it's find a good club where they're going to look after beginners and look after your interests, because you don't want to be stepping in and getting beaten up as a beginner. You know, you want to be looked after. So that's what we're about. You know, we've trained guys from beginner level to like guys fighting in the UFC. So that's a big, you know, spectrum of people. So we've got to make sure that everybody's looked after.
And what I mean, looking at an MMA fighter, what across a week, how would they train? What sort of training would you do? You know, talk me through that.
I mean, most MMA fighters are overtraining because there's so many like aspects of the game to train. You've got to train boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, grappling. Then you've got all your fitness and things as well to go on top of that. So it's a lot of sort of different sessions, and every fighter trains differently. Some fighters respond better if they're doing more conditioning work. Yeah. Some like respond better if they're doing more sparring. So it's finding that balance for each fighter.
Yes.
A professional fighter would train twice a day, and try and keep sessions different. So if you did a heavy sparring session in the morning, you'd come back and do a lighter technical session on a night. So it's that kind of...
So you train them like you would a normal athlete who would be a sprinter or anyone else?
Yeah, that's it.
Right, okay. And what, I mean, obviously that volume of training, what sort of nutrition do you recommend for, you know, how do you get your fighters to eat? What do you tell them to eat?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of different theories on what you should be eating. Like traditionally, when I started fighting professionally, we was just using like a bodybuilder diet, which is not ideal when you're getting closer to a fight. People cutting lots of carbs, which is hard if you're training twice a day. That can be detrimental to your health. So it's took a lot of time for me to kind of figure it out. But generally speaking, what we do is just eat nice and clean, good quality carbs and good quality protein. And I tend to only eat carbs after training to sort of replenish those carb stores.
Yes.
So that's how it works. So you have got to monitor carbs because you don't want your fighter to be too blown up and then have to cut lots of weight in the sauna.
We're going to cover that in a minute. We're going to cover that in a minute. I'm fascinated by this.
So it's just sort of we don't count calories or anything like that. It's just keeping an eye on those carbs and only using them when they're needed to fuel the session. That's the main key, I think. Really.
So Danny, weight cutting for the fight. I know we've talked about it. I'm fascinated by it, and I'm sure people are out there. Talk me through how you cut the weight. And by the way, don't try it at home. It needs to be done under professional supervision. You know, it's not something I recommend, but you know, it's part of making weight for a fight. So Danny, how's it done?
Yeah, so there's some extreme weight cutting techniques that go off before a fight. Typically, the old school way was to use a sauna, put a sauna suit on, and just sit in there for hours on end until you've sweated your soul out.
Yes.
And then you get on the scales, but it's very draining to the body, and obviously, I mean, people have died doing it. It's not something that again you would recommend to anyone. So what we tend to do is 24 hours before the weigh-in is really start to deplete our body of food and water and try and really trim down. So what I use now is a salt bath. So I get a really red hot bath, fill it with Epsom salts. I'll get in that bath for maybe 20 minutes, and then I'm talking like unbearable heat. Like you feel like like
you're not selling it to me, Danny.
It's not good. It's not good. Anyway, it's a horrible feeling, and you know, I've got like guys there ready to lift me out of this bath because I'm in that much of a state, and then I'll wrap myself in towels. I'll stay under towels for about an hour, still sweating. Then I'll dry myself off, weigh myself.
What sort of weight, by doing that, what sort of weight would you lose doing that?
In the last 24 hours, I'm looking at maybe 8 8 to 10 pounds
of weight.
Yeah, doing that through water manipulation. But saying that as well, leading up to that, before I sweat all that water out, what I do is I'll load water, so I'll drink up to 10 litres of water a day.
Yes.
So that water's just passing through my body so quickly. My body just wants to get rid of water.
Yes.
So I'm turning my body into that mode, and then when I stop drinking the water 24 hours before the weigh-in, then my body's still getting rid of it, so it helps sort of push extra water out. Again, it's very dangerous. It's not something that anybody should do. A lot of people say to me, "Oh, how do you lose so much weight? Oh, let me do it." But it's not something that anybody should do.
So not Friday night before you go out on a Saturday.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing this to lose weight every week, by the way.
Yeah.
And how much of that do you put back on for the fight when you step in the cage? Have you put that all back on? Or?
Yeah, but because I'm just losing water weight, it's essentially, once I rehydrate, that weight comes straight back on. So those maybe 8 pounds that I've lost in water will be in a few hours. Those pounds will be back on, and I'll be feeling good again, rehydrated, using proper rehydration fluid and things like that. And then obviously eating correctly, because that's a big thing. People cut weight and then they don't eat correctly from the weigh into the fight. They think, oh, the hard work's done, so they go and have a Burger King, and then that can be detrimental.
Yeah, I want to say it's not high quality nutrients.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So for a fighter, is there any sort of things they would take? Would they take extra protein drinks? Would they take creatine? Is there any sort of products that you know that fighters regularly take, or you've known them use?
Yeah, I mean, most fighters will supplement with like a good whey protein supplement. Yeah. So because obviously you're training so often, you need that protein hit after training.
Yes.
And get those branched chain amino acids in as well.
Yeah.
I get a lot of fighters, because we have a lot of like joint problems. You're getting twisted and things like that. It's I use like cod liver oil, glucosamine sulfate, chondroitin. So it's things like that, help your joints. That's a big thing.
Because for you guys, it's not how you look, is it? It's performance based.
Yeah, that's it. We're not trying to look athletic.
Yes.
I certainly don't. But
I didn't want to say that, by the way, because it's tearing it to pieces. So it's recovery is more important than actually how you look in a mirror for you guys.
Like every muscle that I've got in my body is designed for fighting. It's not designed to look aesthetically pleasing. So it's all about just fueling yourself for a session, and then rehydrating, refueling for the next session, and that's it basically. There's no like special formula.
Brilliant. Okay. So Danny, for anybody who wants to find out more about you and find out about your club and fighting in general, where do they need to go?
Yeah, you can check it out on Facebook. You can search for me personally, or you can look for the gym AVT MMA. If you check out avtmma.co.uk as well, there's a website there with all the information they need, class times and things like that. And you can always just drop into the gym and just take a look around, watch your class, and get a feel for it.
Brilliant. All right. I hope you found that useful. I mean, I sure have. I'm sure some of you will benefit lots from that type of expert advice. Danny, thanks for
no worries. Cheers, mate.
Your time. Cheers, matey. Thank you.
Sound.